Hi, and welcome to But Are There Dragons, a podcast where two friends pick a book at least one of them has not read and talk about it.
I'm your host, Kritter.
And I'm your host, Jess. And we are here to talk about the second half of Onyx Storm. How's it going, Kritter? Welcome back.
Oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I guess we can consider this our holiday episode, dropping
Heck
Christmas week right before the new year. I've got a bit of a nerdy Christmas sweater on.
Nice.
So yeah, we're in business. I'm feeling good. This is my favorite time of year. So when I say I'm like flying high, I'm not lying. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I am also feeling very festive. My son's coming to visit for the holiday. He hasn't been to our new place yet. So all of the things, right? Like the busy, the tired, but also very festive and happy.
Yeah, tired. I can totally feel. The baby dragon is teething. His molars are coming in, and it's just a real problem when it comes to sleep. So we're doing our best and making our way through it. But again, it's not diminishing the holiday spirit in my mind. I love the decorating my houses. You know, I've got a tree in the basement and a tree upstairs. And the only reason I don't have a tree behind me is because I haven't even like put my art up in my new house. And that 3 trees felt excessive. Like at that point, I could start putting real art up. Like whatever. Next year, though, all 3 trees will be up.
Game on.
Game on, hopefully. So thank you if you're listening. Thank you if you're watching on YouTube. If you're tuning in, let us know if you're a holiday girly like us, or if you celebrate any holidays around this time of year, even if they aren't Christmas. Any holiday is welcome. And get hyped for this final chat about Onyx Storm and our final chat in season 5 until, of course, the next book comes out, whenever that may be.
But more on that later.
Yeah, more on that later. Okay, so first impressions or thoughts about Onyx Storm, the finale, Jessica?
Again, each book I've liked a little bit more. So I did like this book more than the first 2. I thought it was a great cliffhanger ending.
Okay.
It was great. And I struggled a little bit with, and I think I spoke to this last episode, of so much of Violet's energy is bent on saving Xaden. So I do like it when we kind of branch out from that story. And so we definitely ended on that note, but we'll get into that, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Okay. So are you ready for me to have the complete opposite take?
Yes, go for it.
Okay, I'm going to put on my hater hat for a minute. And then if you know me at all, if you followed any of my content, you have to know that I do not enjoy like poo-pooing on things. And I'm not going to poo-poo on it. Like I think I gave it like a 3.5 stars on my Fable account, and I would have on Goodreads if Goodreads did 0.5 stars. So I think it was the worst one so far. And let me give you my thesis. It's largely because it felt like nothing of consequence actually happened. And I know that's like a stretch because they found the Irids, which was like the big mission. They fired the wards, which was like the big mission, right? But like the wards were working whenever the book started, even though they were faltering, and they're working at the end. And Xaden was oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Xaden was a zombie thing. A Venom. Xaden was a Venom when the book started, and by God, he's still a Venom. But he's like a worse Venom now, I guess. So like it hasn't been resolved. It's actually gotten a little bit worse. So I just feel like it was a placeholder. Honestly, there are some fantasy series where it's like it's originally supposed to be a trilogy, which I feel like I read about this somewhere, and I could be wrong.
I heard that too.
Okay.
I heard that too.
So that tracks, because this feels like it was very successful, book 1, continued being extremely successful, book 2, and they thought, you know what? Let's make it 5 books here. Let's make some money off of this, right? And so they added some filler. That's what this feels like to me. I had some moments that I really enjoyed. Trust me, like the like, we'll get into it more, but like the climax was pretty satisfying, stuff like that.
Mhm.
But overall, the series of side quests that were like, we need to go talk to this noble to give us the rights to search in this region. Check. We need to go talk to this noble because we're going to stay in his house. Check. It just felt very much like mini side quests that just kind of felt not super, they weren't that powerful. There were some powerful moments in them, but it got tiresome after a while. So this one for the first time, I did not do my second read through. I took notes the first time I read it, for the second half, and I relied on those notes. I'm relying on those notes. I didn't reread it. So it just wasn't, there were other books I wanted to read, and I didn't really want to read this one again. So that's really interesting to me that we have opposite takes. So was it the story that you think elevated it, or were you more into the writing?
The fact, no. So, and I don't want to sound like I'm walking it back. I did say that they each got better, not that they were necessarily my favorite book. So I'm still kind of meh about the series as a whole. So, she's got me, and I'm interested. I'm invested. I want to know how it all turns out. But I wouldn't say that she has me like whelmed or overwhelmed. The thing that I liked about this book that kind of made up for the things that you were talking about, because I also had middle child syndrome. I think that's what I call it. I call it middle child syndrome.
Sure, as a middle child, I resent it, but okay. No.
Super judgy coming from an only child household. So sorry about it. It made up in other ways because it did the things that I wanted to get out of this book, which is it brought us to new places. The side quest analogy is perfect because that is exactly what it is. But I wanted to Carmen Sandiego my way through more of this land. So it scratched that itch for me. And even though it could, like, I feel that your case is strong, that it feels a little contrived in that way, and I get that, I still feel like the action that was created at each of those side quest locations was well enough written or interesting enough to keep me in it. So there's that going for it. Because I also felt the side quest energy big time.
Okay, so let's talk about those side quests then. The first one I have notes about, and I don't know if because we've split the book in half. So the first one I have notes about is the Audiomint double triple cross.
Yes.
The poisoning, the great poisoning, where it was like Riddick got poisoned, right?
No, Garrick
got poisoned. I'm confusing it because later Riddick almost dies. Like later Riddick almost dies, which is another thing that I was like, you better stop that. Like you keep trying to take Riddick from us, and I'm about to lose my mind. But anyways, no. So the Audiomint one was Garrick almost dies, and it's panic mode. Like I was on the edge of my seat. Like, is she really going to kill this guy or not? And then the double triple cross was fun. It was a fun little, like, it was giving like now you see me, now you don't kind of like magician vibes. So I was into that. And then at the very end where she's like, oh, like, you mean your son who my dragon is sitting next to in his window? Oh, that's, you know, it was just very much like she had accounted for everything. And I love when Violet doesn't necessarily like use her OP lightning abilities or whatever. She uses her mind, which was her original weapon. So that was, again, side questy, but ultimately
satisfying.
Those moments were satisfying. Yeah.
I will say that, although I will say that as Violet as a character, having Andarna using the suns as even unconscious leverage speaks to her crossing some lines that I wouldn't have expected from book one Violet.
Oh.
Like Violet's crossing some lines here that I didn't think that she would be comfortable doing.
Okay. So are we into this development, or?
I'm not. I'm actually more invested in Violet's soul than Xaden's, for whatever that's worth. But I'm a little concerned about Violet. And there were a couple of other things. There were comments made about how Violet could still talk to her dragons, but other people couldn't, and how there was thunder, there was lightning, even though they were on a magic-free island. I don't remember which side quest it was.
Yeah.
And how did that happen? And so I have concerns for Violet and Violet's soul.
Oh, so you think she's dabbling in venonism?
Maybe she got some honor. I don't know.
Oh, okay. See, for me, that was reading. She's not like other girls. Like I was just like, oh, it's cringe. Like it's
that's
a little
much
cringe.
more. That would be a much more benign answer, and I would be okay with it. I immediately went to a deep, dark, twisty place, which is kind of
like that. I like that better. I didn't go there, but I like it better.
Yeah,
it's fun. I keep wanting it to get deep, dark, and twisty because at this point it's fluffy. I mean, there's stuff that happens where you're like, oh shucks, but like it's still pretty fluffy. And
Xaden's been very transparent from the beginning to us as the reader, as well as to Violet and whoever else. Like, he will do whatever for her. He will cross whatever line. He has made no bones about it. He's been upfront about that from the jump.
Yeah.
Violet, however, just keeps finding herself going further over the line.
Yeah. She's moving the line. Like,
yes, she's moving the goalposts in terms of acceptable behavior. And that has me a little concerned for our girl.
Okay, that's interesting. Oh, and speaking of this particular side quest, remember my prediction from last episode?
Yes! I almost texted you too, and I'm like, I don't know where she's at. I know that you read so much faster than I do because we have very different schedules. And I was like, no, I'll save it for the pod. But yeah, I thought of you. I think I got there like the next day after we recorded last time.
Same. So yeah, if you recall, my prediction last time was that Xaden's mom was Epiphany or whatever the hell the venom that's obsessed with Violet
Theophany.
Theophany, sorry. Names and I, we don't get along. So like, it's been a week and a half since I finished this. That's why I couldn't even remember the word venom there for a second. But anyways, my prediction was that Xaden's mom was Theophany because we hadn't seen her in a million years. She was supposed to be this strikingly beautiful, like dark-haired woman. So I thought, well, those things might go to, I don't know if she was dark-haired, but like, strikingly beautiful. So it turns out that Xaden's mom was just back where she came from. She was like a mail order contract bride. And once her contract was up, she went back home.
Yeah. I will say, though, when it comes to Theophany, there was a mom connection. You were just
there was a mom
connection. Wrong mom.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah,
that is right.
So them drawing that out as we were getting more and more into that conflict with Theophany, and realizing that because this whole time they've been pitting it as kind of like Jedi's light side, dark side. Light side lightning wielder and a dark side lightning wielder. Oh, but just kidding. She's not a lightning wielder per se. She's a weather witch. Well, and
weather witch.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that. I actually took a little, I took a note there that was like, I put, oh my God. Theophany being a storm wielder is intense. That's what I put. Just like emotionally intense. And speaking of like the twinning dark side, light side, the fact that one of the oh my gosh, I don't know his name, but one of the people at the academy are he manifested shadow wielding.
Yes.
So it's like
I don't remember his name either, but
I wrote it down.
I thought that was really cool, and I'm like, does that mean Xaden becomes their dark shadow wielder?
Okay,
like, so is that carved in stone?
I don't know if this was a autocorrect fail, but I put Link's manifesting shadows as the balance to Xaden. I put was chilling because it's like it felt like it was like a foregone conclusion that Xaden was going to the dark side. That's what that read to me.
Lynx, you were right. Like the cat.
Like the cat. Good job. I was like, did I write something weird? And then it autocorrected.
You are square on.
So yeah, I do wonder if people will read into that, right? Like, I mean, I guess
Mhm.
at a certain point, Zayden's the cat gets out of the bag a little bit with him, but yeah, that should have been a pretty big red flag for
Mhm.
them. But okay, so Zayden's mom shows up. Theophany is the mirror to Violet's mom. Lots of mom action. And then we have, I don't know if you remembered this last episode, but I said that I wanted Dane to be happy, and I was like, maybe he could date Kat. And then Kat did find a boyfriend.
For a minute.
And then Kat's boyfriend immediately got wrecked. Like,
And I'm pretty sure that's because of you. I'm pretty sure you did that.
oh, it feels like it a little bit, but man, ouch. Like, what a brutal. I mean, I said that it's a fluffy book, but then things like that happen where it's like, okay, you know, Zayden gets a funny little trinket and somebody else gets a hug. And then this guy who's dating Kat gets an arrow to the heart.
Arrow to the heart.
Yeah. What? Yeah. And then, of course, the rule is like, and you can't react because that would violate the rules. And then they're like crying and whatever. Like, that feels like a reaction to me, but I guess it wasn't enough of a reaction to disqualify them from whatever this test was.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird.
But Traeger's sacrifice led them to the uninhabited island.
Yes.
And that brings us to the Irids.
We did find the Irids. My notes about the Irids are judgy.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Judgy.
I'm like, are they the elves of this world?
Oh, holier than thou. Peace, you know, I don't need to get involved in the affairs of men kind of thing. No, I actually, yeah, that's kind of a really good parallel. But I didn't like them when we met them. They made me mad. Incredibly judgy.
I felt they were very dismissive of Andarna's autonomy.
Yeah.
So I very much felt for Andarna in that interaction.
Yeah.
And how incredibly dismissive they were of her and what role she played in her own outcomes, path, journey.
And I don't know if it would have like resulted in anything different had Zayden not showed up at the exact wrong time. Because it felt like Violet was at least persuading like that one that came back later. But it wasn't looking good. I didn't
feel like it was going quite that well.
No, I don't think so. So that was kind of like, and the funny thing is, we talked about this last time too. It's like, what happens when they find the Irids? In the way of fantasy books, it'll probably be underwhelming. And then there it was. It was like a rom-com, you know, where you're like, okay, we're finally together, and then something happened and we can't be together anymore. And then at the very end, something else happens, and it's like happily ever after. Not quite, but like more or less.
And then Andarna was, you know, MIA for a good chunk of this read because she was so upset about what happened.
Exactly. So that was interesting. And then ultimately, this kind of jumps ahead a little bit, but like Andarna breaks up with Violet, which was kind of harsh.
Yeah. So that gave me it's your fault because you put Twilight in my brain, but it gave me such Edward Bella vibes when Edward went away.
Like New Moon? Spoilers. But if you haven't read Twilight by now, my God, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's really old.
It's pretty old.
Yeah. So that was, and I understand that they're bonded, and I do understand the concept because it's not unique to this book set. There's plenty of fantasy series that talks about bonding and mating, you know, mates. I was like, now it's Edward and Bella, and I can't unsee it. And it made me so mad in the moments when it was happening. But it was very similar, right? Like she was very lackluster. She didn't want to do anything. People were concerned about her. They were trying to get her out of her funk.
Yeah. Yeah. And then ultimately she got an offer she couldn't refuse. And she took it and she broke up with Violet. Kind of, for temporarily at least. Yeah, so that was a bit of a bummer. I mean, I totally understood where Andarna was coming from, but the way that they kind of emphasize, especially at the end of the book, the just intensity of these bonds, right? And we got the hint at the beginning where it was like your first love is unbreakable or whatever the hell it was. I can't remember, but the the riddle about
Mm-hmm.
first loves and it being the answer being the dragon was like a good hint. And like to me, I don't know, Violet's relationship with Tairn, it's kind of like a big brother younger sister thing, and I don't
Yep.
get this like insane depth that they're suggesting exists. But when we got Zayden's POV, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
that's when it really finally hammered home how intense this bond was, right? He was like, Violet will take care of herself. Like, it's, you know, what's her face? Sigale. Sigale is like
Sigale.
everything right now. I have to protect
Mm-hmm.
her. Like, how dare they touch her? It was like he
Yeah.
went off about them harming
Mm-hmm.
Sigale. And his just inner monologue to me really emphasized the bond more than any other time. Even when Andarna broke up with Violet, that was another thing where it was like, oh wow, Violet's really feeling it right now. But Andarna was always this like little sister to older sister relationship, and just didn't ever feel
And she
that.
hibernated, and then she disappeared. Like,
Yeah, it never felt that
Andarna is
deep.
very much still a juvenile.
Yeah. So it just never felt as deep as I think it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, once they broke up, or once Zandarna broke the bond, like we got the hint. But then
Mm-hmm.
with the Zayden POV, I thought that was like, finally we were like really understood the depth of bonds. In my opinion, I thought that was a good picture.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I liked the fact that there were a couple more cameo chapters this
Yes.
read through where we got to see some dynamics between different riders and their dragons. I thought that was very telling. But my favorite was with Sigale and Zayden.
Yes.
Especially given that Zayden has gone dark side, and what the implications are for that very strong relationship.
Yeah.
So I really loved that we got to see that. I liked that we got to see it in other writers as well. You know, some more snarky, tongue in cheek.
The banter.
You know, the banter.
I wrote one
and
down.
I do like banter.
I do too. The dragon banter is fun. Oh my gosh, what was it? Did you fall off? I did not bond a whiner. Kidding. Like that was so. Yeah. I liked it. It was good. I will say that the other POVs, well, since we're talking about those, there was one thing that kind of came up for me during the Imogen POV, and it was like her best friend Quinn. All of a sudden, she's like, "I love one person more than any other," and it's Quinn. And I was just, to me, that felt like it sort of came out of nowhere. Like Quinn feels like such a tertiary side character that in this one POV, all of a sudden, it felt like the author Yarros is just being like, no, you really, like, the stakes are so high. Look at this character dying. You should really care about this character because she's basically Rhiannon to Imogen, right? And so it was like, she was basically like, some people need to die during this, so I'm gonna pick this character that I've named before and make it so that like her death is supposed to be impactful. And to me, it did not land. It was good to see Imogen having her own POV, and I enjoyed it for the most part, but I just emotionally I was like, okay.
I think for me, so I agree that that's what it felt like the purpose was of that. For me, it just emphasized that we've spent so long in Violet and Zayden's story that there were definitely times throughout this book where I was like, we already know that person. Whose dragon is that? Like,
yeah.
And I'm like, we are on book 3. I should have this down. I don't know why I'm getting the, who are you again vibes. Like this is not, as you know, the most complex story I've ever read.
Far from it.
We're used to books that have lots and lots of named characters. And I'm not saying I kept all of those straight by any means, but I was like, wow, I feel like just when you're in Violet and Zayden's world, like that's so all encompassing, and it really sharply contrasts that everybody else is tangential to the story.
It's true. And it just feels like, I mean, I guess it's a romantasy book. So like, of course they are the heart of the story, but it does just feel like everyone else is kind of just disposable. Like, yeah, at any point. And I guess like, because we in the book 1, like I really fell in love with Liam at a certain point. Like he was like such a
Mhm.
sweet character, and like she really worked to make you care about him. But of course, it's because of how close he was with Violet. But still,
Mhm.
because of that, it's like, oh my gosh, like I am more connected, I am more attached to Liam still than I am to Imogen, for example. Because
Mhm.
Imogen is this like snarky badass, which I love, but she's just, we don't have like much from her, like like depth. We don't have, I don't know. That's
I feel
where
like Rhiannon is the only one who came close.
yeah.
Rhiannon comes close.
Yeah, but then again, it's like probably because of who she is in relation to Violet, right? Like, because if she died, it would be like, oh my God, Violet's going to be really impacted by this. And it does just feel like, and again, she's the main character, so I guess that makes sense. But the only way that we really care about somebody is if like they are extremely important to Violet, because otherwise we don't know anything about them. So let's just say I'll points against Yarros for like world building and character development in that regard, just because world building is like not as, but character development for sure. She's developed few characters to the point where I care whether they live or die.
Yeah, I know that when we went into that chapter, I was like, huh, I didn't even know they were friends.
Literally, I wrote Imogen loves ... And then finally when she said it, I was like, Quinn ? Like those were my notes because I didn't know. But I don't know. So that was something. And so talking about the side characters, I think the side character in this book that I've grown to like be way more attached to than I was in previous books is Riddick. We talked about it. He was my MVP last episode. Just because he really like wanted to help and he did the work to help, and it was just really kind of inspirational. So this time he finds out that Xaden is a Venin, right? In the, I believe it was whenever they met up with the Irids, and that kind of gave it away. And his line after this happens is like my favorite thing probably that's happened so far. He asks Violet if she has any respect for her own life, or is she just concerned with Xaden's? And I was like, yes,
so
queen, exactly.
That interaction, that whole thing with him pushing her, like drilling her, like where is the line? Where is too far? You have to define it. You have to say it out loud. Where will you know, okay, he's gone?
Yeah.
And making her say that out loud. I was like,
yes,
hell
literally. Finally, somebody is trying to knock
somebody is sense. Making her say it out loud.
Yeah, that was so satisfying. So not only did he like really come into his own this book in the first half, but then he's like, oh, this guy's actually quite wise and a good friend, and he doesn't take shit from anybody. Like he's, you know, he's not going to put up with her nonsense.
He's like a fully fledged personality in their circle, and like can go toe to toe with them and be like, this is not okay.
Yes. And then they tried to kill him at some point.
Yeah,
he got stabbed, right? Yeah, he got.
So she thought he got stabbed, which I love. I liked that moment too, like the jump scare of, oh my God, not Riddick, and the PTSD that created for Violet. I mean, obviously that's sad, but just a reminder, Violet's had some trauma.
Right. You know, that was a good little section. Obviously, it was good in the sense that it got something out of me where I was like, no, like, you don't like, I don't care about almost anybody in this book, if I'm honest, but I will care if you kill Riddick. So like,
if there's one thing I'll refer to as a jump scare in this book, it is that moment where she was like seeing it through his coat. And I was like, oh my God, not Riddick, not Riddick, not Riddick. Not Riddick.
Like guy gets stabbed in the, like what's her face? Kat's boyfriend. Fine.
Like,
sucks to her, sucks to be her.
It's really sad.
But, you know, whatever. And Garrick dying from the poison, that would have been sad for Xaden for sure. I did not want it to happen, but it wasn't anywhere near how I felt about me thinking Rick was going to die. So, anyways, it happened. Another line from this book that I thought was very apropos, if I can use that phrasing, is it toxic? Maybe. Is it us? Absolutely. Ugh.
That gives me the ick.
It gives me such an ick. It's like this book is so Twilight. It's so Twilight. Like, she is doing things that are so bad for her. And like, she even recognizes some of the stuff they're doing is toxic, and yet it doesn't matter because she is so infatuated. It's a problem. Like, this relationship is a real problem. I don't know.
Yeah. All the red flags.
Yeah.
I think that I'll take that moment to segue. There was one other phrase, there was one other moment that really stuck with me. And one other near miss that was really traumatic. So when we got to the showdown with Theophany and Violet going, doing the back and forth about being a priestess, and her, in her primal rage going, why serve a god when you can be a god? And I was like, it's so cliche, but I love it so much. I love to hear it from my bad guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
I loved that. I was like, yes, lean into that crap.
It's giving Lanfear.
Yes. Like, I just want you to be all that and a bag of chips. Like, if you're going to go down that path, you're going to go down it with fanfare and 100% zest.
Yeah. That was it was good. That final confrontation, but of course, like, Xaden ultimately once again kind of saved the day. I mean, sort of. Auric, though. Mr. What do they call it? He was a
precog.
And so
and I love the fact that they actually like called out, like, he's a precog, but he's like better than Melgren precog.
Like uber precog. He sets up all the chess pieces, like, make sure you go by the temple, whatever, like, make sure you do this, do that. Like, he put the pieces on the board in this final section, which I thought was so satisfying. Like, and Violet finally realizing, like, what the hell happened? Like, what did he give? What did he give me? Oh my God. All of that stuff. Like, it was, that was my favorite part. I think that reveal.
Yeah. That's definitely a top 5 moment for me because of the unexpected moment of me going, based on my read, when do I think his signet started to kick in? Like, all of that fun, I wonder when he knew what he knew. So that was like free of charge, just a little bit of sprinkle on top.
Yeah. No, that was fabulous. Big fan of that. But then, of course, like, Xaden's big burst, his avatar moment was
crazy.
Yeah. Which sent him over the edge, I guess. And now he's just he's a Venom now, kind of.
Truly. Yeah, I mean, the way that it was written is, he felt his soul leave his body, just she didn't hold back on the dramaticism of the moment.
No, and like, the one thing he held on to was like his love for Violet, or like Violet's love for him. So he still has that scrap. He's got a shred left. So much so that he married Violet. Shall we go there?
Well, can we time out on the marriage?
Sure.
Do we have any thoughts we want to share on the sister almost dying? And I mean, that was pretty.
That was another one where I was like, you're gonna effing take Mira from Violet. Like, really?
Yeah.
She thought her brother was dead. Now her sister's... No, that was annoying. But let me just say, Dane coming in hot and being like, take it. Take my stuff. Like, take everything you need from me. Save Mira. That, to me, I put was dreamy. Like, okay, Dane. Like, Mr. Knight in Shining Armor. I love that for you. So I didn't truly think Mira was going to die. I don't know why. Like, sometimes, like, other people, I'm like, oh, they're good. I don't care. They might die. Like, sure, whatever. They can die. Mira, though, I didn't think it was going to happen. There was going to be something. I just kind of knew. I don't know why or how. Mainly, well, you know what? I think in the back of my mind, without fully bringing it forward, I thought Violet lost her mom at the end, at the climax of the last book. I don't see...
So that would be quite a double whammy to do it 2 books in a row.
And it'd be kind of like a little repetitive. So I just didn't think, did you think she was
No, but I think I was eager to see how she was gonna resolve the situation.
Yeah.
So, and I thought it was interesting, and I'm kind of mad because I feel like Brother Dave has redeemed himself.
He has absolutely redeemed
And
himself.
it makes me mad.
I mean, yeah, it's, you know what though, I do love a good redemption arc, and I feel like we're finally like fully there. He stole the books for Violet in the first half of the book, and he's been helping, he's been translating, although now he was like rendered obsolete somewhat by Auric joining the band, but now he just self-sacrificed more or less, like take everything, just to protect Mira, who is like, his would have been sister-in-law in another life. So
yeah,
that was pretty great. I was a big fan of Dane there.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that takes us into Xaden having his Super Saiyan moment to protect Sigale. Which, let's just take a moment to just say on the record that I was horrified that they killed the dragon and that they were coming for Sigale. Like,
yeah,
made me sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
And it was really one of those things where I guess it makes sense because they're Venin and Venin don't have dragons, and it hit the mark for me. Like, it definitely elicited a response. So good job on that.
Yeah. I guess was it Panchek's dragon they killed? Who's dragon?
Yes.
Okay, and Panchek. Who was he again?
I have no idea.
He was one of the professors, right?
Was he? Sure.
That's the problem with this book, is like there's not an over abundance of characters, right? It's nothing overwhelming, but there's so many people who are just like ex-professor, and then there's another professor, and then there's another professor, and they all have names, but they don't have real personalities. So yeah.
And so the hard part for me is that, like, it was another person who was on the side of the light who went to the side of the dark.
Well, yeah, because they said there was a mole or whatever, so that was the reveal. That's like, oh, it was Panchek. And then I was like, oh, wow, who's that? I know I've heard the name.
I think you might be right. I think they might be a professor.
Right.
And I'm sorry for not knowing off the top of my head.
No, it's okay. I mean, did you like Google it and the wiki's not helping you?
No, I don't dare. I pulled up
now. We've read it all now.
Oh, we have read it all now. Yay!
So
I just pulled up my old notes and did a Control F on Panchek.
The first Reddit post of this, I just Google Panchek. The first Reddit post at the very top of Google, why Panchek? And then the underneath, I think Panchek was made the traitor because he was so obscure. It's like, yeah, like who? He's responsible for leading both the first and last formation of the year, welcoming new cadets and congratulating graduating ones. It's just, yeah, he's some rando professor.
Okay.
Commandant at Basgiath. Okay. And so he's the guy. Oh my gosh, What a big reveal. I don't know. I guess there had to be somebody, so here we are.
Yeah. So yeah, another betrayal, light side to dark side, and then the horrific revelation of killing the dragon and then immediately turning it around to go for scale. And again, with another moment of, I like Xaden just a little bit more because he wants to protect Sigale just as much as he would want to protect Violet.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I like that too. I thought finally we get some, like, it's not just Xaden Violet, Xaden Violet. It's all like, they have important relationships outside of each other. And one of them is the dragons, which is the whole point of these books, right? These books are supposed to be like centered on dragons. And finally, the stakes are high when it comes to dragons. So that was good. It was fun. It was another moment in these books where, like when the whole town catches on fire, it was something I could visualize, and I don't know if I was visualizing it right, but it's like this just absolute blast, this wave of like weird shadow coming off and like just covering the land. It was just something I could picture. like in my mind's eye, which I think is good. Like it's cinematic, right? So it'll lend itself to if this ever gets made into a show or a movie.
Yeah, it was an all out, defense of her. So it was by far a big moment, a big beat.
Yeah.
And then we go into, really, I feel like just from there, we went into her waking up the next day kind of moment.
Literally, and I put in my notes, Violet almost dying has to happen at least once a book. So why not at the very end?
Yeah.
Literally, it's like, oh my gosh. And then she passed, and then everything went black. Like, okay. I mean, we know she's going to come back. She's the main character. But...
well, she did the whole grand finale with a broken arm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, okay.
Yeah, facts. All right. Good for her. I mean, she's got a lot going on physically that she's dealing with.
Yep.
So it's commendable for sure. But I don't know. I feel like I'm just being such a hater this episode. So sorry about that.
So
I really liked this book.
This one's your least favorite. So does that mean you like 2 the best?
I guess so. I think because I know 2 I thought was an improvement on 1. So I'd say 2 is the best one. Yeah. World expanded, stakes raised. We actually knew the characters, so we didn't have to do the whole get to know, the people. It was, I think that was the strongest. And this felt like a filler book to me. So if you did read these books, let us know what your order was, right? So I'm 2, 1, 3. You're 3, 2, 1, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. It's close. It's close. 3, like I said, 3 scratch the itch on some more world building and meeting some other and going some other places.
Yeah.
So, but 3 and 2 are really close.
Yeah. I mean, I usually claim that I'm like a world building girly. Like I love a book that's like, actually, this world is huge. Like here's all these other civilizations. Like we're going everywhere, babe. Like the cultures are different. Everybody looks different. They talk different. And like that was in this book, but it just didn't land for me. It just felt like it was very forced or something. It just didn't feel, it was like, it wasn't like they were in a world or in a new place. It was like they just went to somebody's house. That's what it felt like to me for the most part. Yeah. So I don't know. Again, I'm being a hater. Sorry about that. So, okay. Panchek's the traitor, whatever. Zayden blows up. Violet gets saved. Auric has an amazing precog moment. Also, Violet's a dream walker.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe, except for Andarna unbonded her.
And now, what does it mean with Andarna not being around?
Yeah. Although it's so funny how it's like, I put in my notes, I thought Violet being like, it's so weird that I'm looking at my hand, but it's actually Zayden's hand. It's like, girl, you, like, I think you're smart. Like, figure that shit out. You're in his dream. Like, come on. Yeah. It's a magical world. I feel like it's not that big of a leap, especially because you find out that, like, you guys are having matching dreams. I don't know. Yeah. At a certain point, I thought, duh, that's your ability. But I don't know. Yeah. How do you feel about dream walking in the Fourth Wing universe?
I'm TBD. I read a book series that has a really cool dream walking, so I'm a little biased. So I'll be interested to see how she incorporates that in the next book. Yeah.
So far, it's just been like learning things about people, and I guess like you can spy on people in that way if you can like target them. So yeah, we'll see how it gets implemented. Assuming that she gets it back with Andarna and whatever.
Yep, she left it super vague about what happens to their relationship and how Andarna can modify their bond and what that means. She left that very, very, very open-ended, and interested to know whether or not that impacts that ability.
Speaking of what that means, I feel like that has to be the solution to the Zayden problem, is Andarna's change ability, right? Does the Irids have this magical change power?
Right.
So,
which we still don't know any more about
right.
than we did at the top of the book, because the Irids wouldn't tell her anything.
Right. And Yarros wouldn't tell us anything because she wanted to write more
Mhm.
books. Sorry.
Yeah.
Cynical. But yeah, so that just, if Xaden is going to be saved, it's either he dies and sacrifices himself and it's this epic tragedy, which would be my preference. Or there's some magical solution related to the Irids because they're the ace in the hole.
I don't know. So, I mean, definitely when they saw the Irids said, you can't cure venom.
Yes. But
so I'm like, that. And I'm always a little skeptical because I'm like, when you tell me point blank,
I don't believe you.
That makes me feel like you're going to, but, there's
right.
going to be a loophole somewhere.
Or because Violet's brilliant and their relationship is so strong and she's not like other girls, then they're going to figure it out for the first time.
She gives him half of her soul, so together they're a whole person.
Sorry. I feel
that would not be
today.
My preferred outcome. How's that?
No, me either. Again, like, let's make this a Shakespearean, that's a strong word, tragedy. Let's let Xaden sacrifice himself and then, Violet end up with Dane because he's the Peeta Malark. He's the Jacob Black before Renesmee. He's the one that's good for her. Whereas Xaden is not.
I feel like she should go for Auric and then, be a benevolent overlord. Yes.
I mean, yeah, Auric is, although Kat wanted to be royalty. And she had, that could be fun if her and Auric ended up together.
So does that make Violet the new commander-in-chief of Basgia?
Oh, because
her mom's gone. Is Melgren still in charge?
Oh, Dane's
dad. Dane's dad is in charge.
Yeah, Dane's dad is.
Well, we know that can't stay. We know he's going to have to go.
Yeah, I mean, it does mean that Violet has been knighted the head of all of those armies that Xaden is in charge of, the Duke of Tyrandor and...
so what do we think that means? That he leaves a note that says, don't look for me, it's yours now. Does that mean Tyrandor is yours now?
I think she's the Duchess. She's a Duchess of Tyrandor and a Duchess of the other one that Xaden's in charge of. That is kind of confusing to me. There's like two that he's the boss of. Whatever. So she gets them both because she's the wife.
So we think that's what he means when he says it's yours now?
I think so. You think it's just the ring?
No, I don't think it's the ring. I think it's a mysterious it.
Oh. I mean, that's fair because, like, calling, like, a noble title it is kind of bizarre, right? It's like, I guess.
My kingdom.
Yeah, my kingdom is yours, I guess. Yeah, I mean, and I don't even know if that's how it works in their land, right? Because they kept saying, like, he doesn't have an heir. They never said he doesn't have a wife.
Right.
So.
Because Garrick Bodhi was his heir.
Mm-hmm, right.
Right up until marriage. Now that they're married, we don't know.
Yeah, seemingly Violet, based on the note, I think, but question mark, unclear.
I think that's a really obvious answer. I just was like, maybe it's a mysterious it.
Yeah. His soul. Although I feel like he would have said his soul was hers already.
He did.
Yeah.
He did, in fact, say that.
Yeah, right. Okay. That feels like something that might have been said. It was. Yep. Okay, it was. Okay. And also, just speaking of the secret marriage, the fact that Violet can't remember it, that's another thing that gave me an insane ick. Just an absolutely unbelievable ick.
So it was double barrel. She doesn't remember it because she told Imogen to wipe her memory.
I know.
So Violet's making choices. Violet is making choices that I don't know are good choices.
I mean, I guess it's because, like, Dane could read her mind, but I think she trusts Dane at this point. Like, I guess to me, it was like, okay, yeah, she didn't want them to be able to, like, torture her into finding Xaden, but couldn't they have gone to a neutral location? I don't know. Like, it just felt like extra dramatic and icky. Because, like, how do we know that it was fully consensual if she can't remember it? I mean, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was just based on their like insanely toxic and codependent relationship, but like, did that not give any, like, if you're listening, did this give you the ick? Please let us know. Or is it just me being a hater?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's giving I blacked out in Vegas vibes.
Yes. It's giving Britney Spears got married, you know, and has to get it annulled. Granted, they've been together for a while, so like it's not exactly the same, but it does give me, it is giving I blacked out in Vegas and married my high school sweetheart kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, I feel like we've covered it pretty well, the book. Do you have any other thoughts before we do our MVP thing?
Dead dragons and missing eggs. So I'm...
Ooh, the missing eggs, yeah.
Yeah, well, and dead dragons. I'm like, oh, I definitely in it to win it and gonna read the next book. The stealing of dragon eggs is... I'm not okay. Like, I gotta know what's happening there.
Oh, fair, yeah. And I feel like it is, to be fair, I want to be judicious here. It's more than the sunk cost fallacy. Like, I'm not just going to read the next one because I've already read 3 books. I am interested to see how it gets resolved, hoping for a great tragedy, but we'll see. I hope it comes around and is satisfying, and you know, all my predictions come true, or I get surprised in ways that I didn't expect, because that would be even better. I like to be surprised. So yeah. Okay, so that's it. Every episode and season of But Are There Dragons, we pick an MVP, and because we're only doing 2 episodes per book, a runner-up MVP, so we can figure out who was the peak MVP of the book. So we'll start by picking our MVP and runner-up MVP of this half that we just read, the second half of Onyx Storm, and then we'll run some numbers and let you all know who the actual MVP is. We haven't talked about this in advance, but for the first time maybe ever, I do have my 2 picked out already. So
you're usually always deciding at least one in the moment.
Yeah, in the moment I typically decide, like, after the discussion, I'm like, oh yeah, I did feel strongly about that. No, this time in my notes even, I put who was the MVP, and then anyway, so
nice.
Jessica, who is your runner-up MVP for this episode?
So a little bit of a different approach. My runner-up for this episode is actually Asher Sorengale.
Oh,
so
okay.
I fell into a moment where I was like, he had moves and counter moves like laid out in advance, all of this knowledge that he had stockpiled and distributed, and so much of it contextually mattered. And you know, for example, saving Garrick. And I just was like, I don't think Asher got enough love for all the work he was doing to help his, you know, daughter in her future state. So for my runner-up this time, I picked Asher Sorengale.
That is a good one. I like it. So my runner-up, it was a competition. There were 2 that I had to choose between. But I ultimately, well, I'll say the runner-up to the runner-up. The runner-up to the runner-up was Riddick, because his confrontation with Violet, for me, was just like, thank effing God somebody said what I'm thinking. So that was really satisfying. But my actual runner-up is Dave. Because of that moment, it just stuck with me whenever he was just like, take whatever you need, like, take all my power, I don't, like, drain me, get Mira, like,
yep, this is gonna hurt.
This is gonna hurt. I don't give a like, just do it. And that to me was, as I said in my notes, dreamy. That was dreamy. And the thing about it, like, it was with Sloane, that's Liam's sister, and it was, you know, like, she has so much reason to hate Dane, and the fact that they, like, kind of came to some kind of like, okay, we're gonna do this even though you hate me kind of thing. It was all just, it was good. It was just really good. I liked it a lot.
It was real good.
Big fan of Dane. This book, actually, this whole book, because he was my runner-up last time too.
Yep.
Okay, so MVP, Jessica, who was your MVP for Onyx Storm?
So my MVP ended up being Riddick. because
Oh,
of that scene. Like, I could not get away from it, and I think that it is incalculable how important it is for them to have a person that pushes back on them the way that he has been doing.
yeah,
So yes, he's funny. Yes, he's got tongue in cheek. He's got jokes. Cool. But he's also going, oh, when is too far, too far? And nobody else is saying those things.
yeah,
And I think that it's really important. Especially as I mentioned, like, my concern is for Violet's welfare. And nobody else is asking those hard questions or holding her accountable to think about those things. So for me, for this half, it was Riddick.
Okay, I'm a fan. As I said, he was my runner-up to the runner-up. So my MVP for this book, this half of the book, this episode, was Auric, just because of the pieces on the board. He lined everybody up. He made it happen. He was the guy. Like, if without him, we would have lost, And so that to me was just like, he was a part of the best reveal of the book. He was invaluable. His translation skills, all of that stuff. Like, he as a first year came out and was just like, actually, guys, I'm amazing. And he's so humble about it. Like, he's a really good character. And I love a person who, just does what they need to do in a really satisfying way. And that was him. So to me, MVP was Auric for sure.
So we flip-flopped from last time.
We did flip-flop from last time.
On our MVPs.
So I'm like kind of confused here. All right, so if we assign 2 points to the MVPs and 1 point to the runners-up, I fear we have a tie. One moment. Because we didn't... because we didn't overlap at all. Okay, so Riddick has 4 points because he was your MVP and my MVP. Like, your MVP this episode, my MVP from last episode. Auric has 4 points because he was your MVP last episode, my MVP this episode. Dane was my runner-up both episodes, so he's got 2 points.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And then I've got Asher
and
Garrick.
So Asher and Garrick both have 1.
Yeah. So how do you choose between Riddick and Auric?
How do you choose between Riddick and Auric? That's so funny. Huh.
I mean, I'd probably have to, if I were put to the test, I'd probably have to give Auric the advantage just because of cumulatively across the whole book, his precog revelation, his coming in clutch for the negotiations, for the all the plans that he helped salvage when his brother was being a doo-doo head, and coming in clutch with the weapon that she needed to defeat Theophany. Like, I'd probably have to give it to Auric over Riddick, but like you just said, I love a character who just does the work, and Riddick has been there day in and day out doing the work.
See, that's so funny because literally I was like, if I had to pick for the book, like, I loved Auric and everything that he did. He was instrumental to the success of what everyone was doing. But Riddick, I felt, was a stronger character. Like, his personality, like, we got to know him better. He, like, again, confronted Violet when nobody else would. He was more satisfying. It's so close, though, because, like, interpersonally...
Do we put it up to a vote? Do we put it up for a vote?
Yeah, let's put it up for a vote. Yeah. I think it's unresolved, fam, because Riddick and Auric are both strong, the strongest characters in the book, and it's tough. It's like, one, again, instrumental, invaluable, best reveal.
It's like choosing between Merry and Pippin. Who does that? People don't do that.
It's true. It's really true. So if you let us know who you would pick between the two of them, because truly at this point, between the two of us, it's a tie. So
it really is. I could talk it back and forth all day.
Yeah, and we didn't pick a single woman this entire
book, which is kind of wild.
Another signal that this is a filler book. because Violet is the main character. Mira should be up there, right? Rhiannon is Violet's best friend. There's so many female characters that should.
I feel like we did not get as much Rhiannon in this book.
We did not.
And you're right. Mira deserves more love.
She just kind of shows up as the muscle, more or less. That's like the vibe that I get from her. I would like more from her also for the next book. So, all right. We feel good about this?
I think so.
Okay, so we are prepared to tell you all what our next read is going to be. It will be dropping sometime in January. Jessica, you want to do the honors?
Absolutely. So after our little holiday break, and in an effort to help you all obtain either your Audible credit or whatever you need to do, we wanted to share with you that our new book going into January will be Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary!
With a date to be announced.
Yes. Project Hail Mary by, oh my gosh, that's driving me nuts. Same guy who did The Martian.
Andy Weir.
That's right. And coincidentally, there is a movie coming out of Project Hail Mary in March, I believe, with Ryan Gosling at the helm. So I'm so hyped about that. I have read Project Hail Mary, and I really enjoyed it. And I highly recommend, if you go back and forth between physical copy and audiobook, I highly recommend the audiobook because it is very well done. And I actually talked to somebody, I can't remember who it was, that started it one way, like physically, and then switched to the audiobook, and they were like, oh boy, that was the move. So
was that Mr. Jessica? It might have been Mr. Jessica.
Was it Mr. Jessica? It might have been him.
It might have been.
Okay, yeah. So Mr. Jessica's also read it, right? The whole thing.
Yes, and he's very excited, but we have been on a total blackout window on Project Hail Mary because he loved it so much. But to the point where we're covering eyes and blocking ears when we go to the movie theater so that I don't see the trailers.
That's funny.
So I know nothing other than it's Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
So it's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm really excited to read it again, listen to it again. It's a pleasure, honestly. And honestly, I'm also very excited to be moving on from the Fourth Wing series, not because it's bad, but because I love a change of pace. And I know that there are some people who were abstaining from the podcast because they didn't want to read the series. So hopefully you guys come back. We would love to have you back.
And it's nice to switch it up.
It's super nice to switch it up. So yeah. And it's a one-off, right? So like this will be one book. We'll read the first half, the second half, maybe we go see the movie and talk about the movie. And then we can pick something else, we'll move on from there. So that does it. Get excited for Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. And thank you so much for tuning in to our 8th episode of Season 5 of But Are There Dragons, brought to you by your hosts, Jessica Sadai and Kritter XD. Don't forget to follow us at But Are There Dragons on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and But Dragons Pod, just one T, on X. You can also find your hosts on social media as Kritter XD and Shelf Indulgence. And that is it for today. We commend Onyx Storm to Malik. Bye.
Bye.